India's largest repatriation exercise, Vande Bharat, underway. First flight of day 2 with 234 passengers arrives from Singapore to Delhi. INS Jalashwa bringing home fellow countrymen stranded in Maldives through the sea route. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh inaugurates the link road to Kailash Mansarovar via video conference. Says this route will drastically reduce the travel time and the route will bring development in the villages of the valley. No second leak at Visakhapatnam LG Polymers factory. NDRF DG says rumours are baseless. Situation is under control. NDRF and NEERI team at the site. Grim news coming in from Maharashtra. 14 migrant workers mowed down by a goods train near Aurangabad. Investigation is underway. President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Railway Minister express condolences. India fights COVID-19 outbreak. Total active cases rise to 37,916. 16,539 patients cured and discharged in India. Death toll due to the pandemic reaches 1,886. Coronavirus cases across the world rise to over 38 lakh with over 2,69,000 deaths reported so far. United States, Britain, Italy, Spain and France are worst affected. Hello and welcome. You're watching DD News and DD India with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. Our top story on day 2 of the Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indian citizens from abroad. Air India flight from Singapore landed in Delhi today, carrying 234 passengers. Passengers were subjected to the screening process on arrival at the Delhi airport. Four other flights are expected to land today, ferrying distressed countrymen from abroad. Flight from Dhaka to Srinagar is expected to arrive at 13:45 hours today, carrying around 167 medical students studying in Dhaka to their homes before Eid. The students have expressed their gratitude to the central government and the embassy for evacuating them during this tough time.
The Indian embassy, they did a good job actually. We had to do an online registration for that firstly, and then they sent us the emails accordingly, and we had to book our tickets. So they did a good job, really good job actually.
Another flight from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia to Kozhikode in Kerala will land at 20:30 hours with approximately 145 passengers. And flight from Manama in Bahrain to Kochi will touch down at 23:30 hours with 177 passengers. Another 177 Indian nationals from Dubai will reach Chennai today at 20:10 hours. Well, crew members of Dubai Kozhikode flight shared their experiences after a successful flight.
My crew did an excellent job today, handling 177 plus 5 infants, and everything went off very smoothly. There were no issues. Everything was looked after very well by my crew. Thank all of them.
Thank you so much.
And even the Chief of Operation, Captain Rajkumar, has personally asked me to thank all of you all for your good performance.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are very proud of you.
We took care of everything actually, safety and the company SOP procedures. Everything went well as per the captain, so it was a good flight for us going to Seychelles.
Myself, Vinny, CCIG for this flight. All the operating procedure has been followed with standard things, and all the passengers have been well taken care with all the announcement time to time. It was a very nice flight and smooth.
It was a good experience. Different experience. First time we are doing the evacuation flight, and thank you everybody. It was a good teamwork. Thank you.
Better coordination helped us to take this our beloved ones back to their own country. I'm so happy, and it was a very good experience for me.
My name is Abdul Rao. It was a very good experience, and we have made all the standard operating procedures, and they are the backbone of. So we are really happy to take them back to their homeland.
officials who work behind this.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the staff that work at the back,
Yeah,
especially
and
the
coordinators.
coordinators, the Air India Express, the Air India staff.
Department, yeah.
You guys have done a good job.
It's a teamwork.
It's teamwork, yeah.
It's a teamwork,
Great
yes.
going, guys. Wishing Express all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And our correspondent from Dhaka, Rajesh Jha, joins us with more details on the Vande Bharat mission. Well, we are aware that the flight from Dhaka to Srinagar is expected to arrive any time now. The slated arrival is at 13:45, which is a few minutes from now. And 167 medical students studying in Dhaka are now arriving here in Srinagar just before Eid. We heard about how they are feeling, the experiences, but was there proper screening there before the departure in Dhaka?
Yes, indeed. Before the departure, they were asked to go through all the medical requirements, and the temperature was taken, and all the medical requirements were completed for the students, and the process was conducted on the others also from the High Commission, including me, who went over to the airport to oversee and to report the departure of the students. So every care was taken, and moreover, these were the people who are themselves medical students, so they were extra careful. All of them were wearing masks, and many of them were wearing personal protective equipments also, and that gave a very secure look to the entire process.
Fair enough. Rajesh, tell us about how Indian authorities have cooperated with Bangladesh authorities to make this evacuation from Dhaka possible.
The process has been extremely tiring for the people of the High Commission. They have been on the work for most of the time, last full week, and they have been talking to the principals in the colleges and trying to make sure that the students don't have any problems for their food and regarding their ticketing and other formalities. And they have been getting very good support. In fact, the High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Riva Ganguly Das, told me that the principals of the colleges from where the students came were extremely cooperative, and these people have got very positive support from the Bangladeshi authorities. At the airport also, there was one particular girl who's technically there was some issue with her ticketing, and at the last moment, Bangladeshi authorities at the airport, with the help of the Bangladeshi authorities, the High Commission people were able to get that girl onto the aircraft. So the total number of people who traveled to Srinagar today was 168. So that was a very happy thing. The girl was extremely happy to have been able to board the flight at the last moment. And I wanted to tell you something about the remaining flights. The maximum number of flights that would be operating over the next week would be going to Srinagar. Apart from the flight that went today, 12th and 13th May also, there are two flights to Delhi on May 9th and 11th, one flight each to Mumbai and Chennai. To Mumbai, it will be going on 10th May, and to Chennai on 14th May. All these flights have around 170 seats, and most of the people would be traveling according to the plan. In case there are some more people, according to the press release of the High Commission, they would be accommodated in the successive, in the next phase of the evacuation plan. So this is the first phase, and there would be other phases also. That is what the High Commission tells us.
Rajesh, these are extraordinary times really, even for airport authorities and for various flight operators. You know, having said that, did you see that there was a social distancing norm that was properly followed at the Dhaka airport? And is it taking longer than usual in terms of the boarding processes and all? And is that word reaching to Indians that they need to ensure that they are here well in time at the airport so that all the procedures can be properly followed?
Yes, indeed. They have been maintaining social distancing at the airport. As I told you, all the students who traveled today were medical students, so they were themselves very aware and conscious about the need to be maintaining all the health requirements. Before entering the airport, they were sanitized. They were given the other health checkups required, and all these people were very conscious about it. And I must tell you that since the airport is closed, there was not much of a rush, and the people who managed the counter of Air India there, they did very efficiently, and they made sure that people don't have to wait at the airport for too long. the students arrived at the airport well on time, so that the medical the procedure could be done, and other procedures regarding paperwork, etc., could be done. And they maintained the social distancing. In fact, the High Commissioner, while talking to them, told them that when you go back to Srinagar, you will be in time for the Eid celebration, even after you go through the quarantine period of the required time span. And they were extremely happy to be going back at a time which is probably the most important festival for them in Srinagar. So those things were taken care of, and the things appear to be extremely smooth. And I must tell you that the people in the High Commission had done a great job over the last 1 week. They have been doing everything possible to make sure that nobody suffers, and many of them took personal interest in all that, including the High Commissioner and Deputy High Commissioner here.
Right, Rajesh, thank you for those updates from Dhaka. Well, around 750 Indian nationals will embark for Kochi from Maldives' capital of Male later today as part of the Indian government's program to evacuate Indians stranded abroad. These people will return by an Indian Navy ship, INS Jalashwa, which reached Male yesterday. The program, named Samudra Setu by the Indian Navy, entails to bring back around 2,000 Indians in 2 ships during the first phase of evacuation. People have started gathering since morning for necessary immigration and other formalities before they embark upon their journey. The Indian High Commission in Male has enlisted support of local volunteers for assistance in making it a smooth process. Preference has been given to medical emergencies, stranded tourists, pregnancy cases, and migrant workers suffering job losses. Indian High Commissioner to Maldives, Sanjay Sudhir, had termed the exercise as the biggest of its kind from the neighboring country and thanked Maldives government for its assistance. Another ship of Indian Navy, INS Magar, is expected to bring back over 1,000 Indians to Tuticorin next week, and preparations for that have also begun. And now correspondent Santosh is joining us for more on this. Santosh, tell us about the preparations that are afoot for the evacuation exercise, which is being termed as Samudra Setu. Absolutely. We'll try and go across to Santosh in just a bit because the audio is not clear as of now. And Santosh, I'll ask you the question again. We'll try to see if the audio comes through or not. So my question to you was about the preparations for the first phase of the evacuation, because we are aware that the first set of Indians would be evacuated today itself through INS Jalashwa. So tell us about preparations for Samudra Setu.
Yes, the first phase of Samudra Setu is being carried out today, and INS Jalaswa will take off from Male for Kochi at around 4:30 Indian Standard Time today, carrying over 750 passengers. And preparations for this has been carried out, over last few days. Passengers were shortlisted depending on their conditions, their requirements, and their demands. And from today morning itself, Indian High Commission in Male has been very active to set through a smooth process so that there is no hassle for all those people who are going back to the home country, our India. And they were collected from different parts of capital Male through buses, especially arranged for this purpose, because capital Male is under lockdown. So there were special facilities for taking them to the port. And they, after that port, they went through this immigration and medical formalities. And after that, now we are getting news that they have started embarking on the ship, which will leave in around 2 hours for Kochi. And this is the first step of Samudra Setu. Similarly, there will be another ship, INS Magar, which will be carrying over 1,200 passengers to Tuticorin on Sunday. And everything has been done very smoothly, and passengers express their happiness over the efforts of the Indian government, and also at the fact that they will be returning to their home country with their loves and dear ones.
Tell us about the cooperation that is underway between the government of Maldives as well as the government of India to make this evacuation possible. Also, we understand that preference for evacuation is now going to be given to medical emergencies, stranded tourists, pregnancy cases and migrant workers who've suffered job losses. So did authorities of both India and Maldives coordinate on who should be given preference as far as evacuation is concerned?
Yes, in fact, this is one point to be highlighted, and it's a very big cooperation between both the countries, and which has been highlighted by Indian High Commission in Maldives also, and they have got all the full cooperation from Maldives government in this regard. In fact, there are over 27,000 migrant workers and people employed in different sectors and businesses all over Maldives, and all these 27,000 people, they have faced problems due to this COVID situation. Around 20,000 of them are in capital Male itself, and capital Male has been badly affected by this COVID crisis. So, selecting the right people who are really facing difficulties and who are undergoing emergencies or some family losses, it was a Herculean task which was carried over past few days. And of course, the inputs from the Maldives government also came in handy. But apart from that, the biggest help came through their volunteers. Maldives government provided some volunteers for this exercise, for collecting people, taking them to the ports, and then undergoing this immigration process. That was also a big exercise for which there was full cooperation from Maldives government, and then making all arrangements for the passengers, like providing them food, sanitation, masks, and keeping social distancing. Every norm was followed to the full, so that there is no risk and there is a smooth process when people come back to their home.
And how many volunteers came forward after the Indian High Commission in Male enlisted the support of volunteers to ensure that evacuation process is carried out smoothly?
There were dozens of volunteers deployed all over the capital city and at the port for doing this immigration process. But the main volunteers came up, and it was not only today, it was also for the past few days when people came forward to submit their applications and do the necessary formalities before they can be shortlisted. So Maldives government and the other civil society also came forward to provide the necessary help so that the people can be shortlisted. And today also they can be seen wearing safety gears, providing help at the ports, in immigration facilities, providing help, providing them food and other necessary requirements, so that passengers have a hassle-free experience.
Are registrations complete for the second phase of the evacuation process that is to take place next week? And also going forward, do we expect more such evacuation exercises?
For the time being, Indian Navy and Government of India has announced these two ships, which will carry around 2,000 people back to India. We may expect more such evacuations after first week. The first week was announced, as you know, it was from 7th to 13th of May. But maybe after that, there may be more ships depending on the requirement. For the second ship, as far as the shortlisting is concerned, yes, everything has been collected, and we can expect a shortlist of those who will be taking the second ship by this evening. That is what I came to learn from the Indian High Commissioner there. And that ship, INS Magar, of course, will be reaching Male tomorrow, and it will take off on Sunday. Sunday, carrying over 1,200 passengers to Tuticorin.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Santosh, for those updates. And now correspondent Mukesh is joining us from Delhi with more details on the crucial mission of the Government of India. Mukesh, are we standing by for the flight to arrive from Dhaka with a number of Indian nationals?
मुनमुन इस समय जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे पर जो फ्लाइट आई है वो सिंगापुर से आ चुकी है और आप यहाँ पर देखिए उनकी स्क्रीनिंग चल रही है। 235 पैसेंजर इस फ्लाइट में एयर इंडिया की मौजूद हैं और सभी को यहाँ पर स्क्रीनिंग के बाद क्वारंटीन किया जाएगा एक होटल के अंदर, और उसके बाद उन पर डे टू डे निगरानी रखी जाएगी 14 डेज तक। और ये वो तमाम पैसेंजर हैं जो नेगेटिव हैं, जिनको वहाँ से अब्रॉड से यहाँ लाया गया है। इसी तरह से कुल 12 कंट्रीज में फ्लाइट ऑपरेट होगी। 64 फ्लाइट ऑपरेट की जाएंगी, जिसमें 14,800 जो पैसेंजर हैं उनको इवैक्यूएट किया जाएगा। ऐसे ही हमारी नेवी की जो टीम है वो अलग से ऑपरेशन चला रही है, लेकिन वंदे भारत के तहत ये ऑपरेशन इस समय एयरलाइंस चला रही है। और पहली फ्लाइट जो कल वो आ चुकी थी ऑलरेडी, लेकिन आज जो भारत में पहली फ्लाइट है वो सिंगापुर से आई है और काफी देर से पैसेंजर अंदर ही हैं, उनकी एक एक करके स्क्रीनिंग की जा रही है, उसके बाद उनको बाहर क्वारंटीन के लिए होटल ले जाया जाएगा।
Absolutely, Mukesh, you're telling us that the flight that arrived this morning had arrived from Singapore. Are more flights expected to arrive through the day today and also going forward? Because we are aware that 60 odd flights will be operating from different destinations the world over to different destinations in India. So do we expect more flights today?
मनोज, बिल्कुल यहाँ पर जो दिल्ली के लिए वो तो सिर्फ यही एक फ्लाइट है, बाकी अलग डेस्टिनेशन पे कुछ फ्लाइट्स का आने की उम्मीद है, जिसमें कोची एयरपोर्ट पर कुछ फ्लाइट लैंड करेगी। ऐसे ही कुछ और स्टेशन है जहाँ पर फ्लाइट लैंड करेगी, लेकिन आज दिल्ली के लिए एक ही फ्लाइट जो थी वो ऑपरेट की गई है। कल रात को ये गई थी और अभी आ चुकी है, तो नो मोर फ्लाइट्स इज देयर इन दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट। इसके अलावा और जो अलग डेस्टिनेशन हैं उन पर फ्लाइट्स का आना जाना जारी रहेगा।
Absolutely. Mukesh, tell us about the various precautions that are being followed at the airport, because there is social distancing, which is a norm which needs to be followed during these times. So is there a lot of emphasis on ensuring that all the precautions are taken at the airport?
बिल्कुल मुनमुन, जिस तरह से प्रिकॉशंस की बात की जा रही है, यहाँ पर सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग के लिए मार्किंग की गई है, सर्कल्स मार्क किए गए हैं। मैं दिखाऊंगा, कैमरामैन के थ्रू आपको दिखाना चाहेंगे। एक एक पैसेंजर जब बाहर आएंगे तो उनके लिए यहाँ सर्कल मार्क्स किए गए हैं। साथ ही साथ डॉक्टर की पूरी टीम अंदर मौजूद है, जो एक एक पैसेंजर का स्क्रीनिंग कर रही है, मुस्तैदी के साथ स्क्रीनिंग कर रही है कि कोई भी ऐसा पेशेंट है ना हो जो स्क्रीनिंग के दौरान बच जाए या कोविड-19 का शिकार हो। साथ ही साथ यहाँ पर पैरामिलिट्री के फोर्सेज हैं, दिल्ली पुलिस का स्टाफ है, एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी का स्टाफ पूरा मौजूद है। प्राइवेट कुछ स्टाफ और सिक्योरिटी भी यहाँ पर तैनात की गई है कि ज्यादा गैदरिंग ना हो। मीडिया कर्मियों को भी एहतियातन कहा जा रहा है बार बार कि वो भी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन करें, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ज्यादा लोगों को आने की अनुमति नहीं है, जो सिर्फ फ्लाइट से ट्रैवल करके आए हैं वो, और कुछ स्टाफ मेंबर्स यहाँ पर मौजूद है और कुछ मीडिया के लोग यहाँ पर मौजूद है। तो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग जो कि इसकी बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है उसको यहाँ पर फॉलो कराया जा रहा है।
Right, Mukesh reporting from the Delhi airport on the various precautions that are being followed. Also, it's been a few hours since Indians had arrived on an Air India flight from Singapore to Delhi. So, Mukesh reporting on all those details. So, thank you for that. And let's now move on to how the Press Information Bureau has done a thorough fact check of a video being viral on social media, and the PIB called the video fake, in which passengers on board an Air India flight had an argument with airline staff for being charged triple the normal fare for the trip. PIB fact team has stated that the Civil Aviation Ministry has claimed that the incident is from a neighboring country's airlines. Meanwhile, Air India and its subsidiary Air India Express are carrying out Vande Bharat mission, which is being touted as one of the largest evacuation operations in the world. And let's take a look at the latest numbers of COVID-19 cases from across the country. The total number of confirmed cases is now 56,342, of which active cases of COVID-19 across the country stand at 37,916. A total of 16,539 people have been cured or discharged so far, and a total of 1,886 people have lost their lives. 14 migrant workers were killed after coming under a goods train between Jalna and Aurangabad of Nanded division of South Central Railway in Maharashtra today. The workers, who were walking to Bhusawal from Jalna, were returning to Madhya Pradesh, an official at the Karmar police station said, and they had been walking along the rail tracks and slept on the rail tracks when they were mowed down by the train at 5:15 this morning. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray expressed grief over the death of migrant workers from Madhya Pradesh in a train accident in Aurangabad district and announced a financial aid of 5 lakh rupees each to their families. President Ram Nath Kovind in a tweet has expressed condolences at the train accident. He tweeted, and I quote, "Saddened beyond words to learn about the loss of lives in the railway track accident near Aurangabad in Maharashtra. My thoughts and prayers are with the bereaved families. Wishing speedy recovery to the injured. I'm confident that the administration is doing everything possible to bring the situation under control at the earliest." A MiG-29 aircraft airborne on a training mission from an Air Force base near Jalandhar met with an accident earlier today, and the aircraft had developed a technical snag and the pilot ejected safely as he was unable to control the aircraft. The pilot has been rescued by a helicopter. A court of inquiry has been ordered to investigate the cause of the accident. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today inaugurated the link road to Kailash Mansarovar via video conferencing. The link road connects Dharchula to Lipu Lake, China border, which is known as Kailash Mansarovar Yatra route. On the occasion, Rajnath Singh congratulated the Border Roads Organisation engineers and personnel whose dedication made this achievement possible. He said Team BRO has done tremendous work in recent years and played a significant role in connecting the border areas. Defence Minister also flagged off a convoy of vehicles from Pithoragarh to Gunji.
बॉर्डर रोड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द्वारा निर्मित घटिया बगड़ लिप लेक सड़क मार्ग को देश की जनता को समर्पित करते हुए बेहद खुशी का अनुभव कर रहा हूं। कैलाश मानसरोवर जाने वाले श्रद्धालुओं के लिए यह कनेक्टिंग रूट मैं मानता हूं कि यह किसी वरदान से कम नहीं है। न केवल कैलाश मानसरोवर यात्री बल्कि यहां की स्थानीय जनता, हमारी सेना और इस क्षेत्र में तैनात हमारे अर्धसैनिक बलों और व्यापारी भाइयों को भी इस मार्ग की प्रतीक्षा लंबे समय से थी। 75 किलोमीटर लंबे इस मोटर मार्ग ने इन सबकी आशाओं और आकांक्षाओं को एक साथ पूरा किया है।
That's it then in this edition of the news. Up next is Doctor Speak, and in that 1 hour from 2 to 3 p.m. you can keep calling us with your medical questions on COVID-19. You can also post your questions on our Twitter handle, which is DD News Live, and also on the Facebook page of DD News. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a bit with Doctor Speak.